Ife is an ancient Yoruba city in southwestern Nigeria. The city is located in the present-day Osun State. Ife is about 218 kilometers northeast of Lagos. History = mythic origin of Ife, the holy city, creation of the world = according to Yoruba mythology, Olodumare, the supreme god, ordered Obatala to create the earth, but on his way he found palm wine which he drank and became intoxicated. Therefore the younger brother of the latter, Oduduwa, took the three items of creation from him, climbed down from the heavens on a chain and threw a handful of earth on the primordial ocean, then put a cockerel on it so that it would scatter the earth, thus creating the land on which Ife would be built. Oduduwa planted a palm nut in a hole in the newly formed land, and from there sprang a great tree with 16 branches, a symbolic representation of the clans of the early Ife city-state. The usurpation of creation by Oduduwa gave rise to the everlasting conflict between him and his elder brother Obatala, which is still reenacted in the modern era by the cult groups of the two clans during the Atapa New Year festival. On account of his creation of the world, Oduduwa became the ancestor of the first divine king of the Yoruba, while Obatala is believed to have created the first Yoruba people out of clay. The meaning of the word Ife in Yoruba is expansion. Ife is therefore in reference to the myth of origin, the land of expansion. Origin of the regional states, dispersal from the holy city. Ife Oduduwa had sons, daughters, and a grandson who went on to found their own kingdoms and empires, namely Ila Orangun, Owa, Ktu, Sabe, Popo and Oyo. Oranmayan, Oduduwa's last-born, was one of his father's principal ministers and overseer of the nascent Edo Empire after Oduduwa granted the plea of the Edo people for his governance. When Oranmayan decided to go back to Ife after a period of service in Benin, he left behind a child named Weka that he had in the interim with an indigenous princess. The young boy went on to become the first legitimate ruler of the second Edo dynasty that has ruled what is now Benin from that day to this. Oranmayan later went on to found the Oyo Empire that stretched at its height from the western banks of the river Niger to the eastern banks of the river Volta. It would serve as one of the most powerful of Africa's medieval states prior to its collapse in the 19th century. Traditional setting The king the O Ni of Ife claims direct descent from Oduduwa, and is counted first among the Yoruba kings. He is traditionally considered the 401st spirit, the only one that speaks. In fact, the royal dynasty of Ife traces its origin back to the founding of the city more than 2,000 years ago. The present ruler is Elelu Okanadzawa, Olubers II, styled His Imperial Majesty by his subjects. The Uni ascended his throne in 1980. Following the formation of the Yoruba Orisha Congress in 1986, the Uni acquired an international status the likes of which the holders of his title hadn't had since the city's colonization by the British. Nationally, he had always been prominent amongst the Federal Republic of Nigeria's Company of Royal Obas, being regarded as the chief priest and custodian of the holy city of all the Yorubas. In former times, the Palace of the Oni of Ife was a structure built of authentic enameled bricks, decorated with artistic porcelain tiles and all sorts of ornaments. Cults for the spirits Ife is well known as the city of 401 or 201 deities. It is said that every day of the year the traditional worshippers celebrate a festival of one of these deities. Often the festivals extend over more than one day and they involve both priestly activities in the palace and theatrical dramatizations in the rest of the kingdom. Historically, the king only appeared in public during the annual Olojo festival. Other important festivals here include the Atapa festival for Obatala and Obey-Mary, the Idai festival for Marimia Jazaro, and the Ege masqueraders. Art history Kings and gods were often depicted with large heads because the artists believed that the ace was held in the head, the ace being the inner power and energy of a person. Both historic figures of Ife and the officers associated with them are represented. One of the best documented among this is the early King Obalafon II, who is said to have invented bronze casting and is honored in the form of a naturalistic copper life-size mask. The city was a settlement of substantial size between the 12th and 14th centuries, with houses featuring potsherd pavements. Isla copyright Ifa is known worldwide for its ancient and naturalistic bronze, stone and terracotta sculptures, which reached their peak of artistic expression between 1200 and 1400 AD. In the period around 1300 CE, the artists at Ifa developed a refined and naturalistic sculptural tradition in terracotta, stone and copper alloy, copper, brass, and bronze, many of which appear to have been created under the patronage of King Obelafon II, the man who today is identified as the Yoruba patron deity of brass casting, weaving and regalia. After this period, production declined as political and economic power shifted to the nearby Kingdom of Benin, which, like the Yoruba Kingdom of Oyo, developed into a major empire. Bronze and terracotta art created by this civilization are significant examples of naturalism in pre-colonial African art and are distinguished by their variations in regalia, facial marking patterns, and body proportions. Ancient Ifa also was famous for its glass beads, which have been found at sites as far away as Mali, Mauritania, and Ghana. The modern town, today a mid-sized city, Ifa is home to both the Obafemi Awolowo University and the Natural History Museum of Nigeria. Its people are of the Yoruba ethnic group, one of the largest ethno-linguistic groups in Africa and its diaspora. Ifa has a local television station called NTA Ifa, and is home to various businesses. It is also the trade center for a farming region where yams, cassava, grain, cacao, and tobacco are grown. Cotton is also produced, and is used to weave cloth. Hotels in Isla copyright Ifa include Cameron Hotel, Hotel Diganga Ifa Ibadan Road, Mayfair Hotel, Obafemi Awolowo University Guesthouse, etc. Isla copyright Ifa has a stadium with a capacity of 9,000 and a second division professional league football team. Exhibition, a major exhibition entitled Kingdom of Ifa, Sculptures of West Africa, displaying works of art found in Ifa and the surrounding area, was held in the British Museum from March 4 to July 4, 2010. See also: History of the Yoruba people, Legends of Africa, List of rulers of Ifa. Notes. References. External links, Homepage of the Uni of Ifa, The Story of Africa, Ifa and Benin, BBC page on Ifa, Yoruba Myths por Alibi.